Hey, how's it going, guys? And welcome back to another Stock Kings YouTube video. And today we'll be going over Castor Maritime Inc., ticker symbol CTRM. Now, we are going to go over their recent shelf offering, which is why we saw that massive gap down of 20% yesterday. We'll be going over what that shelf offering is and why it made it gap down so far. We'll also be going over my technical analysis as well as my price predictions, so you guys know how to better trade this stock and manage your trades. So we'll be getting into that a little later in the video as well. But before we get into any of that, if you guys enjoy this content, please drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you know whenever we come out with new videos. I appreciate all the support on this channel, so thank you guys so much for that. And I also have my Webull linked down below, where if you sign up for an account and put $100 into that account, we can both get up to 2 free stocks, up to $1,800, guys. So if you want to help support this channel out a little bit and also get some free money for yourself, please use that link down below for Webull. But let's get right into this daily chart here on CTRM. So if we kind of look here, we can see a massive gap down, and that is our 20% gap down that we saw yesterday. And basically what happened was they announced their shelf offering, and that is what happened to this massive gap down, and then we get a really discounted price. So we are now currently trading at 0.5955, so we're up a little bit in the pre-market from where we ended yesterday, so that's kind of key to note. And we are still trading below the 50 EMA as well as above the 200 EMA, and we are definitely entering some oversold territory on the RSI. But let's get into what this shelf offering is and why it made this stock gap down so far. So if we come over here, we can see Castor Maritime announces pricing of $125 million registering direct offering. And what this shelf offering is what Castor Maritime wanted to do is they want to put out a lot of common shares for people to purchase, which will then raise their capital by this 125 million. So they're basically trying to raise capital by offering shares to the public. But, however, they have to register this with the SEC. And instead of coming out with all of these shares during one time, they want to, come out with a bunch of shares over a long period of time. So instead of filing with the SEC every single time they want to come out with these shares, they then file this shelf offering. And what this allows them to do is put a bunch of these, shares on the shelf, and then they will be able to take shares off the shelf from time to time every time they want to raise capital. So they can say, oh, I want to, put out $10 million worth of shares. So they can take that off the shelf, add that to the market whenever they want for that time period, instead of doing all of those shares at one time. And why does this hurt the stock price so badly? This hurts the stock price because it is very dilutive to your shares. So they are increasing the share, which reduces the total equity that you would already have in the shares that you have. So let's say, for example, this company has 100 shares and you only personally have 10 shares. So you have 10% of the company. So if they then double their shares, so they put out another 100 shares to raise some capital, this would then reduce your total equity to only 5% of the company. So that is why it hurts the share price so bad, because it is basically reducing the overall equity ownership that you have in the company. And that is why we saw that 20% decrease in this stock. But if you are a long-term investor and you see the long-term value in Castor Maritime, this allows you, for one, to get in at a discounted price and buy up shares very low or much lower than you think this company is worth. However, I would just like to say I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. So everything I do and say on this channel is for educational and entertainment purposes only. So please do your own due diligence on these trades. But please let me know down in the comments if you are buying up shares at this discounted price for CTRM. I definitely want to know what you guys are thinking about that. But something else that this shelf offering helps the company with is it's raising capital so they can expand the business. They're raising a bunch of money so they can grow and expand, and that is very good for long-term growth. So if you are in it for the long run, this is very good news for you. However, if you were looking for some short-term gains, definitely don't want to be in this stock anymore. And hopefully you had your stop losses set, like I talk a lot about in this on this channel. But let's get into Castor Maritime and their shelf registration. So Castor Maritime announced today, which would be yesterday, April 5th, that it has entered into a securities purchase agreement with certain unaffiliated institutional investors to issue approximately $192.3 million of its common shares and warrants to purchase up to an aggregate of 192.3 million common shares at a purchase price of 65 cents per common share and accompanying warrant and registered direct offering. The warrants will have an exercise price of 65 cents per share, are exercisable immediately, and will expire 5 years following the date of issuance. The gross proceeds to the company from the offering are estimated to be approximately $125 million before deducting the placement agent's fees and other estimated offering expenses. The offering is expected to close on or around April 7th, 2021, subject to the satisfaction of customary closing conditions. The securities described above are being offered by the company pursuant to a shelf registration statement on Form F3ASR, including a base prospectus containing therein, which became automatically effective upon filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC). So let's go to this filing that they had with the SEC, and we'll see exactly what they are going to use these proceeds for. So if we come over here, we can see the use of proceeds, and this is the SEC filing that they came out with. So this is the Form F3ASR for Castor Maritime. You can see there. So if we come back down to this use of proceeds, we can see unless we specify otherwise in any prospectus supplement, we may use the net proceeds from the sale of securities offered by this prospectus for capital expenditures, working capital, to make vessel or other asset acquisitions, or for general corporate purposes of a combination thereof. We will not receive any proceeds from sales of our securities by any selling shareholder. So as you can see, I think the main takeaway that we should be looking at here is to make vessel or other asset acquisitions. So they are trying to grow their fleet, which will then in turn bring more revenue in for the company and then grow it in the long term. So if we come back to our article over here, we can see that on a fully delivered basis, Castor will have a fleet of 14 vessels with an aggregate capacity of 1.3 million DWT, consisting of 1 Capesize, 5 Kamsar Max, and 6 Panamax dry bulk vessels, and 2 Aframax LR2 tankers. Where we refer to information on a fully delivered basis, we are referring to such information after giving effect to the successful consummation of our recent vessel acquisitions. So we have talked a lot about this channel about CTRM's ship and vessel acquisitions that they've been doing a lot in the past, and it looks like they will be using this shelf offering to get more cash in so they can then make more acquisitions of these vessels and then again make more revenue in the long run, grow the company, and with this lower share price, we can get in at a discounted price, and with these long-term higher projections, we could see this stock, increasing even further than we thought before in the past. But let's get back to the stock chart over here on CTRM. So again, we came down below our support here at 0.64, and we are looking to kind of come up and test this as a resistance again. Again, we don't have very much price action in this area. The last time we were in this was in January and February, so we don't have any recent price action in this area. But if we take a look at the 30-minute, we can definitely start to make some more support and resistance lines. So on this 30-minute, we are again well below are oversold on the RSI, which is something to note. And we are also below the 50 EMA as well as the 200 EMA. However, I think the 50 EMA is a very good resistance zone right in the middle of these two resistances here at 70 cents. So if you are looking to get in now, I would definitely play this as a short term, as this is a very volatile penny stock at the moment, as you saw yesterday with the 20% decrease. So what we would be looking to do here is I would put stops at the low of these two candle wicks here, and then I would put my first partial profit at the support, now resistance at 0.64. So that is where you're looking to take your first partial profit on this stock, is entering back into this range here above into this resistance, and then with stops again at 0.56 right at these 2 wicks here. So if it does come back down and we come back to a low, we do not want to go any lower than what these lows have already created. So that will be a very strong bearish momentum. So we would want to be out at that time. So if we come up to our price target here, we're taking our first partial profit, and then we'd be moving to our next partial profit here at 0.70. So we're already making our profits at that time, and then price would be then here at this newly created support. And now you can see we have a major stop loss, and if price decides to come back down, we could be taken out at a loss and lose this trade. So to prevent that from happening, what we do is we move our stop loss with the trade. We trail it either as a percentage of your overall position, or you could use the candle structure, which is what I prefer. And that makes sure that you are taken out at some gain. So no matter where this price goes down to, you'll be taken out here, and you will make money when this is taking you out. So no matter what, you cannot lose this trade. And I think that is the best way to manage your trades and make sure you get some gains on your account. But that is all the information I have for you guys today on Castor Maritime, ticker symbol CTRM. If you enjoyed this video and you found some value in it, please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you know whenever we come out with new videos. And I also have my Webull linked down below if you would like to use that as well. But as always, guys, I hope you get some gains in the market today. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.